Hi, I am EnGenius James, and this is a configuration how-to for the EMR3000 Mesh solution. Let's start with reading the Quick Start Guide. Actually, the Quick Start Guide is a very short guide, and there is not so much in it, but there are two important points that are mentioned out here. First thing is that we need to have a working internet connection to use the EnMesh app. So I have that one already prepared. Second thing is that I need to have the EnMesh app itself to configure the EMR3000 routers. App is available on Google Play and on App Store. So I already prepared an iPad with the EnMesh app. So if I go to the home screen here, I just like to mention here that there's this information button where I already have an introduction about the EnGenius EMR router, and especially on the EnMesh app and what are the possibilities here. Okay, for your reference, but let's start with the configuration of this EMR3000. As I said, the quick guide is actually there's nothing inside. The whole manual how to set up the device or the whole mesh solution is inside the app. And so this is what we're going to do. And what we want to do today is to create a new mesh network. And there we have to use the wizard. So let's start with the wizard, and it right away show you or ask you or mention to you what you will need. So we need the EMR3000, we need the Ethernet cable, and actually the Ethernet cable is needed to connect your modem with the one connection of the first master router. I have the cable here now, and we need the power cord. Okay, stuff is ready, so let's go to the next one. So the first thing that it asks us to do is connect the cable. Okay, it mentions here we have to connect it to the one port, so let's do that. And I connect it here. It mentions here the router you connected will be the master router of your whole mesh network. So keep in mind that we are going to use this to become the master router. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, power up your router and wait until the LED indicator changes from white to blue long flash. Okay, let's do that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here we go. And we actually see already that we have the white LED turning on. So this is actually the main status of the mesh routers. Now it starts to blink, and we actually have to wait until the color of this multicolor LED will change into a blue long flash. Okay, another thing that I'd like to mention meanwhile is that on the bottom here there is a Bluetooth ID, and this is actually the ID that is unique for each router, and well, it's here. And we need this later because the EnMesh app is going to recognize the routers by Bluetooth. So let us read this one, 699, and we will need this number later. Okay, so we see that this one starts already blue long flash, this one and this one as well. Okay, let's press next. Hey, please turn Bluetooth on during setup. Okay, so I have to turn on Bluetooth of this device. Okay, next. Like I said, it uses Bluetooth to try to recognize the devices. So this will take a few seconds. So it actually already found 3 routers, and as I just mentioned, I was reading the Bluetooth ID of the router, and this one is a 699, and this one I want to become my master router. This is the one that I have cabled to the modem. Okay, so let me select this one to become my master router. Okay, it's connected successfully. Change to white short flash. Yeah, correct. And now I have to give a name to my master router. There are some default names in which I can select, but I'm going to use a custom name called meeting room. Okay, without a space at the end, and it's going to be next. I don't know if you did see it, but it tried to connect to internet, and since my internet was working properly on that cable, it already recognized that the cable is connected. The internet is connected properly. Okay, now I have to create an EnMesh account, and actually the EnMesh account is the administration account to configure and manage and monitor the mesh network of these routers. So I'm going to make this, and I call this mesh admin. Mesh admin. Mesh admin. Admin. Okay, let's do this. And I have to give a password for it. I'm going to use mesh config without the space at the end. Okay, so this is going to be my admin account for the mesh. Second thing that I need to set up is the Wi-Fi, the SSID. This is the actual Wi-Fi network that's going to be broadcasted by my mesh routers. So I'm going to give it a more recognizable name, which is going to be mesh demo SSID without a space at the end, and my password is going to be mesh access. Mesh access, like this, without space at the end. Okay, press next. So final check before we push all the settings into the master router. Mesh demo SSID, the SSID name for my mesh network with the password mesh access. The administration account to configure mesh admin, and the password is mesh config. Okay, in case I cannot remember this, but I already write it down, I can make a screenshot, but now I can just press save and apply. Okay, now the system is going to, the app is going to push these settings into my master router. This will take a while. Let's just count the time. Okay, it took actually less than a minute. What I want to do next is add the other two devices into this mesh network. So I'm going to press that. Again, I have an alert here. Please make sure Wi-Fi on the device you're using is now turned on and connect to your mesh demo SSID Wi-Fi network. So let's do that. Okay, let's find it here. Mesh demo SSID connected. And since I have prepared this in advance, I don't need to put the password, but normally you have to put the password in. Okay, add more devices. What you will need, mesh devices, power board, and actually we already did it, so I'm already done to go for the next step. Power up, I did it. There is a certain time before that this long blue flash is blinking, and this is actually the status where the router can receive configuration data, and it's still on, so now it's fine, so I can do this again. Okay, the mesh devices need to be in this 3 meter proximity of each other to be able to see the rest of the, to find the rest of the devices. And I already found the devices. So what I'm going to do now is select those two, which are these two, and press the next. What now is going to happen is that the mesh settings are going to be pushed to the other devices, and this can take up to a few minutes. Okay, let's wait for that. Okay, it took us 3 minutes for every settings is pushed to the router now. I can see mesh pairing is success, and I see that the blue LEDs are not blinking anymore. That's now changed to a white LED. Pressing the next, actually you're all set. So we are actually done with configuring the mesh network. Okay, so we can actually go inside the EnMesh app again to see what happens, because now we can see yeah, what we did. I have to use the admin account which I just made, mesh admin, and the password that I just keyed in. Yeah, let's see if I can log in and see what happened. Okay, so if I look here in this EnMesh app, there is the internet speed test, which is actually the speed of the internet, which is shown, just did. Wi-Fi settings, this is actually the setting of the Wi-Fi that I made. You see, recognize mesh demo SSID. I can change it here, and I can also make another guest network. So we're not going to do this now. I can find devices, and I actually can see that, of course, the first device, master router with the crown, is the one that I have called meeting room, and there are 2 more devices here in this setup. If I click on this one, I see that the name is here. It's the original name. I can change it here. I'm going to place this in my hall, so I'm going to rename this to hall and save it, and then the settings will be pushed to this router, and that is going to be the router that's called hall. Okay, let me see if I can see the network here. Let's go to Wi-Fi settings, and yes, I have the mesh demo SSID. Let's connect to there, and later I can also look at the clients. Okay, devices. Okay, so clients I have here. I just enable my phone to connect to the network. It will take a few seconds to be able to see that. Connection status I find here. I have 2 devices inside the connected to a meeting room, and that one is connected okay to internet. Okay, let's see if I can already see my clients here. It will take even maybe a little bit more time. Okay, actually, what we are actually done with setting up this whole mesh network. The only thing that we probably need to do is rename this router as well, and after saving it here, the settings will be saved inside the devices. What we now have to do is turn everything off and place it on the right placement in our building. So this is actually, let me see if I can already see the clients. Yes, I see my phone is already connected, and is actually connected not via meeting room, but via one of the other ones, the 700, which is this one. So my telephone is actually connected to this one, and there are some settings, especially on the clients, where you can ban and make the timings for internet access, but that will be explained in another video. Okay, I hope that everything is clear with the configuration. I am EnGenius James, over and out.